That's the first one.
So what's going on? Thank y'all boys for tuning in with the Full Court Entertainment Podcast. As always, it's your boy GQ Tuesday in this thing. And I got my boy Sneaky Sam, Snaky Sam. Don't trust him. And I got my boy Reek Suave. He thought he was John Wayne, so we got him Yellow Stones. So Reek, I want you to go on here and recap that Heat and Celtics series, that Game 7. Just tell me how disappointed you are, because I know you didn't have Miami winning.
Scale from 1 to 10 to disappointment, I was a solid 10. But it's also expected. I had a feeling that Boston would, blow it. But I didn't think it was going to be to that extent. I thought it was going to be a closer match, but it wasn't. As we saw, the score was like 103 to 84. It was a blowout. Jaylen Brown, 8 turnovers. That's not a good look at all. Tatum played like Tatum from time to time. He's inconsistent. He's my favorite player, but at the same time, he is inconsistent. He'll go big one game, the next game he'll go off. It's really hard for him to give us back to back greatness. And with them losing, it really boils down to what will Boston do in regards to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I honestly think they should split that up. Them losing to Miami was practically the last straw. You made it to 4 Eastern Conference Finals, only 1 Finals appearance, and you've lost that Finals appearance. You guys hit the peak. It's time to go ahead and venture off.
You say this? They sound like the same name they say every summer about the Celtics. Honestly, I'm really not feeling all of that take, but I get what you're going with it. Sheldon, let me hear what you got to say, because I know you finna say a bunch of shit that I'm not gonna feel either.
That's fine. Celtics failed. They were better than the Heat. Should have won.
Mm-hmm.
Now nobody predicted they'd go down 0-3, but they did. They made a comeback. They won 3 straight. Jason Tatum got hurt in the first possession of the game. I mean, you can, if you want to say, oh, he got hurt, that's the reason why they lost. No, you can't say that, because he stayed in the game. Now, if he went out the game, never came back, okay, you got me there. Y'all would be like, yeah, Jason Tatum was there, they probably would have had a chance. But no, he played. But he didn't do anything. I saw LeBron drop 40 on a broken foot, basically. What makes you think he couldn't do the same thing? I'm not saying he was going to drop 40, but he could at least gave me more than 14. Jaylen Brown played bad. He said, I failed. We failed the city. That's exactly what y'all did. Y'all, they live and die by a 3. That was probably the first game all playoffs I saw a team literally lived and died by a 3. They was bricking, and they was like, we'd still go shoot it.
You shoot it. Yeah, that pissed me off.
And and it's like, what has been the big factor of y'all even coming back, or even when y'all was losing? Go to the paint. They don't have no defenders that can stop them. Like, that's just fact. They didn't have the defenders to stop them going into the hole. Duncan Robinson can't guard Jason Tatum, only if it was zone. That was it.
Yep.
But they killed them. It was first game. It was 60-some points in the paint to 40. Like, that's what y'all been doing. Duncan, Max Strus, even Jimmy Butler, they couldn't guard a Jason Tatum or even a Jaylen Brown. That's all y'all had to do. Now, and when they hit their threes, they was on. When they hit their threes, they hit it, they made them, and they would win. But this game, they couldn't hit, and they just didn't win. The Celtics just make dumb mistakes, and I was like, if the Celtics lose, it's on them. It's not because of the Heat. The Heat just capitalized, and credit to the Heat for capitalizing. They capitalized on the Celtics' mistakes, and that's why they won. I give them credit. They fought hard, resilient team. I applaud them.
My takeaway from the Heat Celtics matchup. I mean, honestly, I had the Heat winning the series from the jump. I was probably a part of the 3%. I think ESPN was it was 89% Celtics, and here I am, always being a part of the top and truly predictable from the jump. So I thought the series, honestly, it was the most ugliest series to game sevens I ever seen. Because honestly, it was the worst. That was the worst way to get to 7 in the series. Your 3, my 3, last one, pick 'em. I knew it wasn't to pick 'em because honestly, the Heat should have won Game 6, the luckiest putback ever. But that's how the cookie crumbled. Honestly, the series showed just like why I didn't think Boston it was their turn. Just like the same concerns I had about things that popped up with Philly, I had the same concerns about Boston. That team was on pace to shoot just as many threes as that James Harden Rocket team. Live by the three, die by the three, no shot versatility at all. Jaylen Brown, I mean, I know people say, 8 turnovers and stuff, but he got the same exact amount of turnovers as he did last Eastern Conference Series with 23. This isn't new. I know some people are like, well, the hand was messed up. No, that's just his handles. That's how it is. He's not that good of a decision maker when you get him to go left. And I think the problem with it is that, like, when you compare the duos of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and I know a lot of people put them higher up on the duo list because they reached the finals, but I still don't think it's one of the most elite duos out there because Jaylen Brown is not Jason Tatum is the guy. Jaylen Brown isn't the best complimentary guy to go out there with his play style because Jason Tatum, he's gonna take bad shots. Even though he's hitting the shots, you don't treat it now for him taking those bad shots. This is what you get later on in the playoff series. You get someone that disappears in the fourth, someone that travels the ball back to back consecutively, someone that gives up and just keeps jacking up threes. Just the same way in Philly, he went the whole game with like 3-5 points and then caught fire. But that's really, he saved his legacy, but that's really disgusting. And then you see the same thing happen. He could not score in the second half. And Jaylen Brown, he was terrible that series. I think if you want to move forward with Jason Tatum, the better combo it's only I would say it's like a B, just a B, not a B plus. It's just a B. His running mate with Tatum. The better duo I think would be a Jason Tatum and who would I say would work better? I think a Chris Middleton without the health issues. I think who else could be a better duo with Tatum? I would say Paul George fit it. CJ would fit it.
Yeah, Paul George will fit that.
You need someone because Tatum fall in love with the three, and he doesn't want to bang and go to that. He don't want to bang and go to his post move like physical. He can. Yeah, his bag deep, but he don't want to use all the tools in it. It's like, man, sometimes you got to use a screwdriver, not just a monkey wrench. You need someone else to come along like a CJ or Chris Middleton that could get you some mid-range game. And I get it, but Jaylen Brown really isn't that good of a shooter. He's not.
He's a decent shooter, bro.
He's not the good of a shooter for the amount of shots that he's supposed to take. That's what you got the complimentary guys around Boston for. I just think the series not surprising at all. It wasn't their turn. They made a lot of mistakes. The Heat don't make mistakes. They were hungry. They were an undermanned team. Undermanned teams fight like crazy. So yeah, that's all I got for it.
Yeah, they were dogs. They were outplayed. They outplayed them all. Boston should have beat them. But
the Heat, like in them first like 3 games, bro, they killed them from the 3. They killed the Heat. They killed the Celtics from the 3. Yeah. And Celtics couldn't hit nothing. But then in game 4 and 5, the Celtics start hitting the 3, and then it's like game 4 and 5, and maybe even game 6, you can say that's when we be like, man, I can't trust these role players because Max Strus was non-existent basically the last 3 games. You can I don't care what anybody says. He was non-existent. Kyle Lowry wasn't doing nothing. Gabe Vincent, yeah, he missed 1 game, but that game before he did nothing. And he was bad in game 6 too. And then that's when I was like, okay, this is why I was like in the beginning, I was like, I don't trust none of these players. But Caleb Martin, he saved Jimmy Butler. I don't care what anybody says. He saved him. He saved Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler was really he had a great first game, but after that he was just decent. I don't want to hear he had playoff Jimmy game. That's just not true. And besides game 1 and 7, that's when we saw playoff Jimmy. But the other games, he was just decent, bro. But Caleb Martin hit the big shots. He was consistent from the 3-point line, and he was rebounding.
Yeah,
he was the second best player. We always said Bam the second best player. Bam was trash, honestly, that whole series. He was trash. I don't want to hear nothing. I'm done with Bam. But if Caleb Martin doesn't play good in at least the game 7, shit, the whole play in that whole series, hey, we might be talking something different. But congrats to Caleb Martin because I think he should have won the Eastern Conference Finals over Jimmy. That's just mine. That's what I think.
I don't know about that. I get why people saying Caleb Martin should have got it, but I do think Jimmy was the reason they went up 3-0. Jimmy was the reason they went up 3-0, even though they lost.
One of the reasons why they almost lost the 3-0 lead.
Yes. So Jimmy was the reason they went up 3-0. Without them going up 3-0, I don't know if they still beat Boston. So you have to credit, even though he had a stretch in the middle where it was sour, it was bad. That's what the team is supposed to do. I really want to say Pat Riley is the best GM in the game because he knows how to. I'm not finna just build my whole team on just 1-2 people. I'm gonna build a complete team. When my superstar isn't doing good and he's tired, exhausted from the other series he carried us in, he knows that he has certified role players that can step up and carry the load because they have an ecosystem that can carry when the other guys aren't showing up. Now, you may say, oh, Jimmy, you can't discredit what he did. Without Jimmy going off those first 3 games, there is no Caleb Martin going off. Without him still trying and playmaking, he was hesitant, pump faking too much. Jimmy Steele was the reason that they were in the situation that they were. Now, did he perform at the highest level in game 5 and 6? No. But he still got them there. And you can't just give it to one person off of 2 games. Jimmy, if you look at the whole thing, it was Jimmy who did more. I get it. This is what I say too. You got to commend the Heat for not just being one of the teams like the rest of these teams, a player-driven team. The management knows when to step in and be like, when the reports that came out, he said to a player, don't you ever step in my office and tell me to fire my coach. That's what they do. You got to know, man, I'm not going after to get your best friend. Your best friend got to try out. And we got to see, do we fit the system? Can the coach use him? Instead of just saying, hire my best friend. We want this guy. I'm going out. Pat Riley say, man, we going to build a team that can fucking sustain itself, not just off the backs of 1 and 2.
Bro, Caleb Martin saved that, man. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that BS, bro. He saved him, bro. Like, let's just be for real. Caleb Martin was honestly, if you want to say Jimmy Butler was the best player, I'm cool with that, and I agree. But Caleb Martin was the most consistent player in this series, and that's just facts. That's just facts. Like, every time you needed a bucket, Caleb Martin hit it. You saw it in game 7.
He was hitting anything. It was mind-boggling.
The Celtics had a chance to at least cut it down, I think, to 4. Caleb Martin hit a 3, I think, and then it was right at the end of the third quarter. I think they was down by 6. Caleb Martin hits a jumper basically with 1 second left. I was like, I think that's it. That was a clutch shot. Like, he made the consistent shots that you needed. Max Strus, he like I said, he didn't do anything. Gabe Vincent, he was okay some games. Jimmy Butler was good, but he was good, but it's like
it wasn't the Jimmy show.
Too passive, or he took too many shots and he was just bad. Like, Caleb Martin was the most consistent. He saved Jimmy, and now Jimmy has a chance to put his legacy not up there with like the greats, but to enhance his legacy now. Because of Caleb Martin, that's just facts. That's just facts.
Oh yeah,
I can't get behind. I could get behind what you're saying, 40%. But what you doing is recency bias, bro. He didn't perform to his highest capability in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? So just because it's like you doing that same thing all those other people did. You quick and fast to tarnish a player's reputation and their ability to perform. Hold on, let me finish. I know you got some wild mainstream shit to say, but let me talk, bro. Jimmy in the play-in game, Jimmy in the first round, Jimmy in the second round. You have 2 bad games, so we just disregard the 12 wins. Which not the 4-8. We just disregard the other. So now he I don't want to hear him compared to Jimmy Butler. I don't want to people saying he's still one of the greatest playoff players we've seen. He is. And you don't always do it amazing. You can't just disregard everything the man is capable of doing. He is one of the best but to say that like he ain't this and he gotta go. You finna just say the same thing. He gotta go on a redeem.
Did he not
Hold
play
on,
good in the series?
he does not need to go on a redeem tour in the finals because he's allowed to play bad here and there.
If he wants to
If you're
win
the best
the
player,
No,
finals,
let Reed go.
yeah.
Let Reed go.
No, hold on, Reek. If you're the best
Yeah, you
player,
good.
you can't play bad. Come on, bro. So if LeBron has an 18-point game, is that what we gonna say? That's
Will
a
be
bad
on
No.
game.
I know
Will
what
be
you
on
gonna
his
say.
head.
You go
No, that's the
You gonna
truth.
say no. Because I could just go back to just last week. You were D'Angelo Russell got a. You ain't say
Russell isn't the best player,
D'Angelo Russell. You gonna blame?
D'Angelo Russell
So
isn't the
I'm
best
answering.
player.
You'll blame everybody else
I'm
but
answering your
him.
question.
No, you're not.
No. Yes, I am. No, listen to me. You asked us. You said what we gonna say about LeBron, and you ain't gonna say nothing. You gonna blame the role players. You ain't gonna say nothing about
Is
LeBron.
D'Angelo Russell the best player on the Lakers? Yes or no?
No, he's a role
All right
player.
then.
That's what you gonna
Is
say.
LeBron James the best player on the Lakers? Yes or no?
No,
Yes.
Oh, he's not the best player.
Yes,
it's
he is the
time.
best player on the Lakers.
Is Jimmy Butler the best player on the Heat? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So we expect Jimmy Butler to always have a good game. You can't go 12 for 28, bro. Don't do that.
Did you not hear what you missing the fine details. I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying you can't disrespect everything his tenure because he has a few bad games here and there. You don't dope out everything he's done. He doesn't need a redeem
We're
tour.
only saying that because he won. Now, if he lost, we're gonna say he went 12 for 28. He went.
So
5
I'm
for
living in
21.
reality.
He went 5 for
Reality.
So 5 for 21 though. Like he played bad. He played
did.
bad in them last 2 games. Caleb Martin saved him in them 2 games. That's just facts. That's fucking facts. Jimmy Butler had a great series against the Bucks. He was decent against the Knicks, but like he played bad against the Celtics. He was inconsistent. You can't be the best player and be inconsistent, bro. And it's just because it's Jimmy Butler. We just supposed to say, I mean, yeah, he
The
gets
man had
Well, that's
28, 6, and 7, and what? The man only had 1 turnover. What are you talking about?
Are you talking
Game 7?
You talking about game 7?
Yeah. You said last 2 games.
12 for 28.
Well, yeah, game 7. Yeah.
12 for 28 for 28 points. Is that good? Yes or no?
It don't matter. He won.
It does matter.
He won.
What do you mean? What do you
Fuck
mean?
you talking about? He won. He won.
Okay, but he had a bad game.
Bro, you
He
talking about
still
some.
had a
You talking about some. You talking about some. He was 12 for 20. He won.
But he still had a bad game, though.
He won a closeout game 7.
If Caleb Martin doesn't go off, they lose. That's fact.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
fucking fact.
Okay. So listen to me. When you say this, the way you talking about Jimmy Butler, you got to be realistic, bro. You can't be amazing superstar every game. You're gonna have you got to let me finish.
You got to at least be efficient, though. You can't go 5 for 21. If LeBron goes for 5 for 21, we kill him. But since it's Jimmy Butler, it's cool. No, don't do that.
You have to be realistic. You're not gonna have a super. You're not gonna. If it's 7 games, you're not gonna go crazy 7 games straight. He's gonna have a bad game here and there. He won the series. The mistakes he made, he corrected them. His mistakes was being hesitant and pump faking too much and deferring too much. And what did he do? He stopped pump faking. He stopped deferring. He started attacking. He went up. He corrected himself. And that's what you do. When you're great, you're going to make mistakes. You can't always be great, but you must correct yourself. He's self-corrected, so he doesn't need a redeem tour because he won. Just like Tatum he saved his legacy by beating Boston. It's the same thing. He don't need a redeem tour. You got to be realistic with these players and not fall for these mainstream narratives.
That's not falling for mainstream. If you're the best player, you have to be good. That's just facts. If you're LeBron, you have to be good. If you're Kobe Bryant, you have to be good. If Kevin Durant, you have to be good. Magic Johnson, whoever. You can't have 5 for 21 games. That's just facts. If you're the best player, if we're at the record, you're our best player, and you go fucking, and you only give us 6 points, what the fuck is that? Period. What is that? I don't expect you to give me 6 points if you're our best player.
He's not wrong, though. He's not wrong, though.
But this is the thing. You're not wrong with your take. But Sheldon, you be missing the fine details. Why do you think I just said all that stuff with Pat Reek? Why I say all that stuff with Pat Riley?
Because Pat Riley.
No, let him tell you that I'm talking to. Let Reek talk because we've been going a lot. Share the stage.
Yeah, because Pat Riley really, I don't even know. Honestly, Pat Riley is just He's very smart, and I saw a stat about him. He's out of all the NBA finals in the history of the game, he's been in 25% as a player or a coach, or a front office or a front office. He picked people that want to play the game. That's really why Miami beat Boston. They want to play. They're hungry. They're
He
determined.
builds an ecosystem.
He builds it.
For when the players, when the Jimmy Butlers, when you're supposed to be great this game, you're not. He picked the players that can get you along the way. That's what I'm saying.
Because when Kareem wasn't doing his thing, it was Magic doing his thing. If both of them were off, it was James Worthy that was doing his thing. He made sure there was pieces that could pick up the slack.
So we comparing Max Strus to James Worthy.
No,
that's what we doing.
In that game 7, could you compare Caleb Martin to him?
I should say he hit big shots.
Okay, brother. So the comparison exists there. Sheldon, I'm saying to you, if Jimmy has a bad game, if Giannis has a bad game, Joel have a bad game, the ecosystem exists for these teams, for the players around them to make up for it. You say, oh, when LeBron get 18 points, what we gonna say? We gonna say the role players should step up and carry the load.
First it'll be where was AD? Then it'll be where's the role players?
The Heat role players are able to step up. That's why undrafted player every fucking 5 minutes, undrafted. They have an ecosystem that can support the top players when they aren't there.
You can't have bad games, bro. If you're the best player, you can't have bad games.
Yeah.
He can have bad games because
5 for 21.
That's just facts. He can have a bad game. He can have a bad game because he has the role players that step up.
That's horrible. You're right. He can have horrible games.
He can have bad games and they can still win.
They lost
because the ecosystem
games.
exists.
Game 7, they lost those games when he played bad, though. They lost. We're only saying that because they won. Winners. Oh, because he won, damn it. He ain't lose, he won. They lost those games.
He won.
If he plays better, they probably would have ended fucking Boston in 4 or 5. Yeah. That's just facts.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I'm speaking in reality.
Don't do that. You always trying to give these people a pass or something. No, bro. You played bad. Caleb Martin.
Who I'm giving a pass?
You giving Jimmy Butler a damn pass. Talk about he got to play. He can play bad. What player you want to play bad? Be serious.
Yeah, you're not supposed to go 12 or 28 and get 28 points. You're not
supposed
to be
serious. You need to be realistic. You need to be realistic.
You need to be realistic. If I look at Jimmy Butler, I expect him to have at least a good game every damn game. But if I look on the depth chart and I see 5 for 21, I'm like, what the fuck was you doing? What?
You don't even have that same smoke for AD.
Come on, bro.
You don't even have that same smoke for AD.
He's supposed to play better.
You don't know all this stuff mumbo jumbo you saying about Jimmy Butler, hold players accountable. You don't even do that. You don't do that. You don't hold no player. The only players you hold accountable are the ones you don't like.
That's not true. I don't dislike Jimmy Butler, but I'm gonna call him out and say he played bad. I'm just not gonna say, well, they have the ecosystem, so it's okay for him to play bad. They lost those games though. He was passive as hell. Why is my best player being passive as fuck? Why was he passive, Shondell? Why wasn't he aggressive in game 6? Why did it take him into the last 3 minutes to fucking be aggressive?
He wasn't feeling his shots. He lost his confidence.
He wasn't feeling his shot. Okay, now. Okay, next.
That's the answer. What's your answer? What's your answer to your own question?
Be aggressive. If he was aggressive, they would have won that game.
Sheldon, what was your question? Sheldon, what was your question? Calm down. What was your question?
Jimmy Butler played bad.
No, that was not your question. What was your question?
Why was Jimmy Butler passive?
What's the answer to that?
You said that he was.
No, Sheldon. Your question is, why was Jimmy Butler passive? What is your answer?
I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't know why he was passive in the fucking first 4 quarters and a half. I don't know.
So you asked the question you didn't even know the answer to.
I'm just
and
saying,
you upset at my answer.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know why he was passive. I don't know.
Okay.
This man was grabbing to the hole and pump faking. Bro, all you do is pump fake. Get to the hole and get fouled. That's all you gotta do.
You don't be listening to what people saying when they talk.
He wait to the last 3 minutes to want to be aggressive and show he was playoff Jimmy. Why he didn't do that the whole game? That's why they lost that game. They lost over tip in. If he just be aggressive in the fucking first quarter, they fuck around and win. Moral of the story is, I'm gonna call you out if you had a bad game. If you had a fucking bad game, you had a bad game. I'm not just gonna say, well, it's okay to have a bad game in the fucking Eastern Conference Finals. No, I'm not gonna do that like you. I'm just not. I'm talking about this ecosystem bullshit. Like Jokic can't have a fucking bad game tonight. He can't. Come on, bro. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that, bro.